Okay. Hello, Lee.
Hello.
Right, who wants to start?
Alright, so we're your clients and we're giving you your feedback on the product. Instantly, I think any issue to do with the Olympics now is going to be something that's very relevant, especially to Londoners. And your angle on it is going to be particularly relevant to youths. And I like the way you lead us in with different bits of archive footage and use those to illustrate or outline what the documentary is going to be about. I thought that was really effective.
Yeah, because we got the history without it being every single thing ever to do with the Olympics. It was just kind of and then we were taken to the Olympic site.
I think there was an effort made to sort of show a balance in genders, a balance in sort of to cover the whole age range, to cover various ethnicities as well, and to kind of show the way that sort of the London likes to try and sell itself as being quite a multicultural place that's full of people kind of coming together, which is kind of how, you know, obviously the government wants to see the Olympics being in London. So I thought it had that sort of London multicultural vibe to it. I thought you did that well.
Yeah, I think in terms of its place in the market, I think you started off with quite an original angle on it to look at what will it actually do for young people, because that was part of the legacy of the Olympic Games. It's supposed to leave something for young people and sort of change their lives. And I thought that was really interesting how you started with that, but I think that message did get lost along the way, and it ended up just being like, what do you do if you haven't got a ticket? Which is a completely different issue, really. So I think you maybe got a little bit lost along the way of where you were going with it, and it does mean that some bits of it, I'm not really sure why they're there and what the order is of them. Anything else on USP?
No, I think I was, in terms of conventions, again, some good interviews, some good localised interviews. There's actually quite a lot of interviews in there as well in quite a short space of time. And I think obviously the people that you approach, you know, not all of them were the very top of your list, but they are all actually very relevant. And I think you have the best use of Mike Gapes, which is almost a convention itself this year. And in terms of the interviews, in terms of how you used them, I thought they were quite concise, and at times possibly I felt that we could have even seen a little bit more from the people, maybe hear a little bit more from them. I think probably the strongest interview that you had in there was with the lady who ran the Olympic Gym Centre, and that was just a little bit longer, and it just told us a little bit more about who she is and what she's doing as regards the Olympics.
Yeah, and I think you know, you had made use of some hotspots, but then you sort of got rid of them all. You sort of shied away from it. Whereas, given the fact that your whole topic was about young people, it would have been nice to have a bit more time with young people beyond I've got a job there or whatever. It would have been nice to know what impact it had on their lives in terms of sport, exercise, cultural Olympiad, all of those sorts of things. But it was good to see that you had those things. And the documentary on the whole did use a range of different conventions, with handheld and on location, like Sir said, lots of different sorts of interviews, relevant music as well for young people that lifted the tempo of the piece up as well.
I liked the use of the computer game on the track, and there's computer imagery also of the University of East London, like their sports facilities. But from what I remember, there's no actual, you're not in a stadium. I know you're not going to get in an Olympic stadium, but maybe in a track to see what kind of funding is there for up and coming athletes and how that has had an impact. That would have kind of anchored the whole piece together as well, I think, if you had actually had something in an athletics track just to kind of bring it home to us.
And I think one of the things that really helps with these kind of pieces in terms of conventions is to have a presenter who really throws himself into the topic, and it would have been nice to have seen more of the presenter on camera actually having a little bit more of their journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.